What's up guys? So this video I'm going to be doing another browsing video, and we're going to try look for luxury watches that are not Rolex. Okay, when I was doing the previous videos for watches, basically between $5,000 and $7,000, all I found was Rolex. It was just so dominant, right? So I think, you kind of get a little, let's look for an alternative to Rolex, right? Rolex just dominates. So I'm going to exclude the almighty Rolex, and I will also exclude Tudors, because I imagine vintage Tudors will also find its way into my search feed. And let's see what we get, right? $7,000 to $10,000, and you know, let's find something that's non-Rolex, right? Okay, right off the bat, you have the Omega Seamaster Prof Vintage. That's a cool watch, right? If you're into that, that's pretty funky. 8,500. It's a fair bit of change. So that one stands out right now. Panerai, no. Navitimer, no. Panerai, no. Panerai, a lot of Panerais out here, but hey, Panerais could be had for under $5, right? I don't think any of these models are worth paying extra. Right here you got a Patek Calatrava 3893. It would be a little bit small, and if you're not looking for a dress watch, right, you probably give it a pass. Okay, right here we got the Jlc Deep-Sea Chronograph. Yes, that's a really cool watch. Right, really nice watch. Omega Seamaster, no, do not spend $8,200 on your Omega Seamaster. Omega really pisses me off, right? They have no business to be at this price point for its sports watches. The Alaska Speedmaster, yeah, that's kind of cool, but Speedmaster is known for going up to the moon and not really to Alaska. It is a special edition watch, but I wouldn't be spending $8,750 on a Speedmaster that's not a 3-to-1 movement. And okay, you have a rare AP, rare vintage AP, and it's not a Royal Oak. It has a Royal Oak. Ah, for a quartz, my god, this guy's asking for 7,000 for this piece of shit. No, hell no. Okay, it's got logo at 6 o'clock. It's old, it's quartz, it's dated, it's ugly. This is, my goodness, no. Do not spend $7,000 on this. Over here we got a Breguet Heritage. I like this watch, right? You're looking for a nice dress watch. This Breguet, could be considered. This, I really like this package right here. The Iwc Engineer 666. That's right, it's the devil's number. And it's a good watch. The Engineer even comes with the original certificate. That's really rare. That it says here in the 50s box and papers. That's fantastic. Papers are matching with the watch, of course. Well, original box papers. I think this is actually, if you are a vintage collector, right, and you want something that is not ridiculous amount of money, 7,500. I think it's really good. It's really good buying, right? The Engineer, that's really cool. I really like this. Really classy watch. So there we go. I think this is the top. This tops it all so far. My pick of the litter so far is the Iwc Engineer, 7,500 US dollars. That is also somewhat of a sporty watch. It's a sports dress watch, but that's really cool. Of course, you can get the reversal ultra thin dual face. That's also another option. The Geophysic, I think it's a bit expensive at this price point. It's still a pretty new watch. Just wait for a year or so. Let the price decrease before you take the plunge. And to be honest, it doesn't really it doesn't really. Okay, it looks kind of boring, right? It looks kind of boring. I know it ticks, the second hand ticks as opposed to sweep around, but it just doesn't. It's a little bit boring, guys. I can't, if you like it, great, but I find it hard to spend that much money on a watch that doesn't really excite me. It looks a little bland. Omega Seamaster 300 Setna Gold Titanium. No, let's give that a pass. IWC Big Pilot is a bit too big for me. Reversals are cool. Yeah, I think the reversal at this price point is a wise purchase. Dark Side of the Moon is a bit expensive. Just stick to the Speedmaster. See this vintage Speedmaster for 10 grand, right? It's a 69 model, so it's an 861 movement. But I wouldn't spend 10 grand on an 861 movement. It's got to be a 321. No Panerai, alright. Let's see what else. Okay, JLC. This geophysics pretty cool. It's a world time, so I picked this geophysic over the other geophysic. I'm kind of confused as well. I don't know why they call it the same. There's a geophysic universal time, so pick this over the other one. Okay, Gera Perigo, Ferrari, no, hell no, stay away from that. Panerai, no. Vintage Never Timer, yeah, it's a bit expensive. I wouldn't buy that, but I can understand if someone is really into Never Timers. This IWC Portuguese Automatic, no, I wouldn't get that. Jlc Gold Memovox, perhaps, very interesting. It makes noise. I don't know what it would sound like with a gold case. Could be interesting. So possibly. Reverso ultra thin rose gold. Now that is a really sexy piece right here. Ultra thin rose gold. Wow, beautiful watch. Definitely this over the Speedmaster Alaska Project. Lin, I've actually owned one before. I owned their 3-timer. It was just a little bit too big, a little too edgy, a little too modern for my liking. It was fun, but the novelty kind of wore off after a month or so. So I would say that's a little bit too expensive for the Spido Speed. And surprisingly, prices have held up. Right? I guess they must have a following. So there we go. Mont Blanc, definitely not. Omega Seamaster, not sure what this is. Arabia, I guess it's like what's it called? Version Constantine tends to do this kind of crafting, but nah, forget it. I'm not gonna read through all that. Vacheron Constantine, 1912 Historiques. That's a cool watch, but in all honesty, I would much prefer that reversal, ultra thin in rose gold. It's just a little more iconic. This Vacheron Constantine, yeah, it's kind of swanky. This is a swanky watch. I like the numerals, right? It's funky and it's quirky. It's a quirky watch, right? Whoever buys this know what they want. But would I buy this over the reversal? Probably not. I'll pick the reversal. Another Jlc Deep-Sea Chronograph. That's a good choice. Glasuta, Original, Panograph. No, I wouldn't buy that. IWC Big Pilot. Here, ultra thin dual face. That's a really sexy watch. Beautiful. No pictures. Okay. The IWC Gemini. This, I have to admit, I like this limited edition. This is probably my favorite limited edition Omega Speedmaster. Here's blue dial, really beautiful blue dial. It has some red text, I believe it's a date. And you got a blue bezel, tachymeter bezel. That is actually this is my favorite limited edition Omega Speedmaster. It just works. you know, it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful watch. Would I pick this over a vintage 3-to-1 movement? No, definitely not. But let's say if you wanted a special Speedmaster, a special modern Speedmaster, I think the Gemini, this one is the way to go. I would give the Alaska Project a pass. This one's my favorite. I mean, it's gorgeous, really beautiful. I believe the case back has some kind of special engraving or logo or plaque. Beautiful watch. Gemini 4 first spacewalk. McDivitt at white. Super cool, right? Gemini. That's the one I would go for. I definitely go for this over their new trilogy anniversary nonsense. Of course, talked about the Hoya Monaco. That's always, you know, if you're into vintage, right? That's a good piece. All right, stay away from AP. That's not a Royal Oak. Hublot, no. Iwc Nardin, definitely not. Chrono Swiss, hell no. Patek 24, yeah, you know, for the misses, that's probably the best women's watch that money can buy. Panerai, no. Their Jlc Rose Gold, that's a really cool watch, something to consider. Iwc Regulator, I wouldn't, but if someone likes it, yeah, you know, it's cool. Panerai's Breguet Type 21. I think I would just stick to the Type 20 and save myself $3.5 grand. No, $3 grand. Yeah, $3.5 grand. Right? I would just stick with the Type 20. Ladies Type 20, no, too expensive. Bulgari, hell no. What the heck? How can you ask so much for this Bulgari? It looks horrible. That's the most expensive ugly watch I've ever seen. Okay, anyway. Cartier Ballon Bleu, no, too expensive. Omega Planet Ocean, definitely not at this price point. Vintage Calatrava, perhaps, if you want to get into Patek. This Speedmaster Apollo, ooh, interesting. Meteorite now. The Meteorite dial, right? This one's also another limited edition Speedmaster. It's cool. It's cool, right? It is funky looking. I have to admit, I am drawn to it. This one and the Gemini 4. Wow, looking for 7,500 pounds. This is super expensive. I like it. Would I pay that much for this Speedmaster limited edition? No, I would not. I would just get the regular Speedmaster and save myself, you know, what's that, 7,000 pounds? That's almost what, 10,000 US. I would just get a regular Speedmaster and save myself 7,000 US dollars, right? Forget it. Portuguese chronograph, no, it's too expensive. Speedmaster, no. Geographic, not yet, right? This thing was just issued, I think, last year, so prices will definitely drop. Here you go, another vintage Iwc Engineer. The other guy was asking about 7,500, although this one comes with a bracelet. Blancpain 50 Fathoms, maybe, if you really like Blancpain. Right, if you like Blancpain, I think they did come out with the first dive watch, so they're legit. Omega Speedmaster, there you go, right? You want a vintage Speedmaster, you go for the 3-to-1. You definitely go for this over that Meteorite dial nonsense, right? Pay another 650. Oh, I don't know. This costs, the Meteorite dial costs more than a 3-to-1, right? So definitely, if you want to, you really want to splash money on the Speedmaster, you love the Speedmaster, get the vintage one, right? Just get the vintage 3-to-1 movement. This is the exact model that went up to space that Buzz Aldrin wore on his wrist. right? This particular model, 105012. Definitely no GP Laureato, terrible watch. Master compressor world time. Now this is interesting, and it's sold. JLC, beautiful watch. Universal Genève, no, wouldn't do that. Okay, what else is there? Roger Dubuis, no. Royal Oak, Yellow Gold Square, hell no. Speedy Tuesday, definitely not. Alright, these are really new watches. I think Omega released them last year. It's just a pendle dial, you know, it's just a gimmick, right? It's just a gimmick to get people to buy the new watches. So don't fall for it, right? Just 7,600, you can get a regular Speedmaster for less than 3,000. So save yourself $4,600, right? That's a lot of money. I'll go buy some, you know, you're gonna spend 7,600 for a Speedmaster. Just get the regular Speedmaster and buy yourself a Rolex Explorer 2, right? Don't spend 7,600 on the pendant dial. It's not worth it. All right. Reversal dual phase, beautiful watch. Love that watch. Omega Seamaster 300, vintage. Right, so this, if you really love a Seamaster, this is the one to go for, right? Not a watch built, put together kind of watch, right? Beautiful watch. Yes, I can see why someone bought this. Yes, vintage Seamaster 300, honest, authentic, not overpriced new homage watches, right? Not a fan of those. Okay, IWC, Top Gun, no. Hoya, no. Zenith Al Primero, Yeah, a lot of Universal Genève, vintage Universal Genève. Nah, I wouldn't do it. I believe they're out of business already, so, Maurice Lacroix, hell no. What the heck? Frank Muller, no, not for me. Speedmaster, Dark Side of the Moon, no. You're gonna spend this much on a Speedmaster. It's gotta be a 321. JLC, Navy SEAL, yeah, if you're into that, Patek Calatravas, always a yes if you're looking for a dress watch. Oh, this one I really like. Okay, there we go. JLC Tribute Deep-Sea Memovox. That is a sexy piece. Very, very beautiful watch. That's a proper watch, alright? So definitely yes. Deep-Sea Tribute. Hoya Carreras. Okay, so there you have it, right? You got JLC Deep-Sea Tribute, some gold reversals, gold Memovox. You have the IWC Engineer. You have, what else did I like from here, JLC, Patek Calatravas. But I think if you want a sports watch, right, I think the Deep-Sea Memovox or Deep-Sea Chronograph, those two would be the pick. Or we saw a vintage Omega Seamaster. We saw a vintage Omega Prof. And you want something dressy, where you gotta go with the JLC reversal, ultra thin dual phase, or you can get a gold reversal. You can even get a gold Vacheron Constantin Historique 1912. You can get a Patek Calatrava. So you have options, right? If you are not into Rolex, I think these are the watch brands to go for, right? At this price point, between $7,000 to $10,000, I would stay away from modern Omega sports watches. I stay away from modern Breitling sports watches, modern IWC sports watches. Right, I would stick to JLC and dress watches from Patek, Vacheron, and I think A. Lange and Zuna. You can get a Saxonia or a, what is their other watch? It's a 36 mil watch. It's not the Saxonia. Is it 19, I forget, but you know, you can find those for $10,000. So you have options, guys. If you're not looking for Rolex, right, this video is for you. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'm out. See ya.